How to hold the brush when practicing full body movements to paint with the brush. Okay, so make sure you're holding the brush like this. So you can see here, the brush is between my middle finger and my ring finger. It's sort of, I'm hooking the brush like this with my thumb and my index finger, and then my middle finger goes over, and then my ring finger and pinky are behind. So that's how I hold the brush. Now, instead of just like thinking about my arm flopping around, I'm going to maintain a structure in my arm that I feel is like connected to my body. So I'm not gonna paint like this. I'm going to hold the brush like this, and then I'm going to paint like this. Okay, so as I'm moving my spine, that's how my brush is moving. So I can go from side to side, and forward to back, and side to side, and forward to back. Now the other thing that I can do is I can actually rotate. Okay, so if I turn at my waist, you can see now the brush is going in a curve. So again, we can go from side to side, and forward to back, and rotate. Now when we start to combine these, we start to get a feeling for how what people mean when they say that when you paint, you're dancing the brush. So you can see here, the movements are generated internally from my body, and the arm and the brush finish the movement. So if I would go to this way, I would move with my body first, then the arm and the brush can finish. And if I go, I can extend all the way out just to exaggerate. As you get more and more comfortable with this and you get more and more flexible, it can be athletic. You know, it doesn't have to be so small all the time. So that's basically what we're talking about when we say move your body to move the brush. All right, hope you found this helpful, and we'll show a live demonstration where we paint on some magic paper, and also where we're going to use the brush to paint with ink onto practice paper. All right, see you soon. All right, so before we move on and show the demonstration on magic paper and practice paper, we want to talk a little bit about the footwork when it comes to these body movements. So you can see here that I am feeling the weight on both of my feet, and I'm feeling the weight on the heels of my feet rather than the balls of my feet. So I'm allowing gravity to take effect on my feet. Now as I move from side to side, I'm focusing on the inside edges of my feet, not the outside edges of my feet. So you can see if I roll to the outside edge, I start to lose my balance. You can see here I'm rolling to the outside edge and it starts to get shaky. So I want to focus on the inside edges of my feet and just move from side to side, feeling that balance on the inside edges of my feet. So when we go from side to side here, it almost has kind of like when you see Olympic speed skaters, it kind of has that feeling of like going from side to side on the inside edges of your feet, right? That's where you're going to be the most stable. And I can also go from forward to back. So you can see go forward to back. You can see I'm also rolling through my feet. I'm not clomping up and down like this. I'm actually rolling from side to side. I roll from the inside edge to the middle of my foot, and from front to back, I'm rolling from the heel of my foot to the ball of my foot. And that is giving me more stability. All right, so we can demonstrate a little bit about how this were to look if you were going to work in this way on a piece of magic paper. So I have one of our oversized pieces of magic paper here. I believe this is the second largest size that we sell. It's a nice size for practicing. It gives you more space. And you know, with these magic paper sessions, once you fill the piece of paper up, you have to wait for it to dry. So it's nice to have more room because the sessions can be longer. So this is, before I am going to apply something, I will just sort of take my brush and like we demonstrated before, I'm holding my brush in this way, thumb and index, and then the ring finger and pinky behind. And then I'm thinking of the brush as sort of an extension of my body, and I'm holding it with some structure, relaxed but with some structure. So the idea is, when you think about the purpose of your muscles, you can think about your muscles as positioning your joints. So the job of the muscles is to make sure that my arm is in this shape. And once the arm is in this shape, they can relax. So I don't have to like hold it and tense everything, and the muscles don't have to work hard. All they have to do is to make sure that the arm stays in this general shape. Okay? So then I can move from side to side, side to side, and then front to back, and then rotationally, turning my body and rotating. Okay? So if we get a little bit of water, and then we can go from side to side, and then front to back, and then rotationally. Okay, and when I'm doing this, you can see that I'm exaggerating the movements so that you can see it. When you're actually painting, the movements will be more subtle. Okay, the movements will be more subtle. But the whole idea is to practice generating the stroke from your body rather than just using your arm. So you can see how when I'm sort of using my arm, how much more wild it is and how much less control I have. All right? All right, so next up we're going to show a little bit about how this would look with ink on practice paper. All right, so now we're going to show some of this brush movement with ink on our practice paper. So if not everybody knows, but it's kind of a secret that our Chinese mounting paper is actually the same paper as our practice paper. So if you like to paint large and you want the best deal on like a high quality paper that is not only good for practice but also will work for finished compositions, it's archivable, and it has really good moisture control and good color rendering for a machine-made paper. Look at our Chinese mounting paper and look at it buying it in the bulk rolls. We've set out some Chinese mounting paper. I'm using our Dragon brush. I really like this larger stiff bristle brush for these types of work because they're really good at showing, this type of brush is really good at showing texture and energy in the strokes, which is what I'm looking for when I'm sort of painting in this way. But then again, really the object of this for many of you is just to take the pressure off and make it fun. So it doesn't have to be anything in particular. Really the goal is to move and to connect movement to your brush. And at the beginning, it doesn't have to be anything in particular as far as what the strokes are. All right, so we're gonna get a little bit of moisture on the brush, get some ink on the brush. Okay, and then once again, we're going to think about moving side to side and forward to back. So we're going to go side to side and then forward to back. Side to side front to back. Okay, and then we also had this rotational stroke. And so we're starting to get some nice variation. Our Best Bottle ink is really good at that, producing some shades of gray along with just the sort of black or the white. And then once again, I can sort of combine these movements. All right, so that's basically it. We encourage everybody to try this yourself. You don't have to work this big. We're working this big because it's fun and we have the materials around to work this big and because it shows better for the camera. But this works too. You could just take a flow brush or something even smaller and work 11 by 17, that kind of size, and you can achieve the same things. All right, but we encourage everybody to try this out. It's really fun. It's actually really good for your painting because it will give you more control, more energy, and more chi in your strokes. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this, and happy painting.